Trump administration is planning to rescind the so-called roadless rule, which prevents logging and paving roads on national forest lands.
Idaho already has its own regulations in place for national forests, but Washington forests could be in jeopardy. Derek Strom spoke to conservationists about which forests are at risk.
Roadless areas, no matter where they're found, have a lot of value to communities and recreationists.
The roadless rule has been in place federally since 2001, and it's protected national forest lands from being logged and having new roads paved in them. But the Trump administration is planning to repeal the rule, meaning Washington forests could be logged, which conservationists believe would have serious consequences for the environment.
A lot of concerns about the care of our public lands and of the clean water and wildlife that rely on these intact areas.
Critics of the roadless rule say it can get in the way of active forest management and wildfire prevention, but conservationists believe protecting public lands and keeping them intact for recreation and sport is just as important.
Coming together in the past, we've recognized the value of inventoried roadless areas, and we think that any removal of these rules would be a big step backwards for our forests and our communities that depend on them.
Rolling back these regulations could have huge effects for paving roads and logging trees here in national forests in Washington, like the Colville National Forest here. But just across the state line in Idaho, they've had their own roadless rule in effect since the 2000s.
It really brought folks together from all walks of life and all perspectives to focus on responsible forest management and thinning and hazardous fuel reduction in the roaded front country where we live.
Idaho's roadless rule has been in place since 2006, meaning repealing the federal rule won't affect any of Idaho's forests. The Idaho Conservation League says the state's rule protects the most valued natural areas in the state while also conducting active forest management near communities that are at risk from wildfires. In Colville, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.